Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, how you guys all doing this Friday night? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And we are here live here on YouTube for my preview and predictions for WWE's Elimination Chamber 2025. Takes place tomorrow night, March 1st. It's already March, jeez oh man. March 1st, 2025 at Rogers Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The final stop before WrestleMania 41. A show that we still have some holes to fill for sure, and we're going to get some of those answers on this premium live event. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the card. We're also going to talk about something else, kind of a little bit of a video response to some thoughts that a good friend of mine, we all know him as Robbie One Kenobi, had sent me on Instagram. So we're going to probably do that first before we get into the preview for Elimination Chamber. Because I was originally going to do that as like a whole separate video, but because of time constraints and whatnot for me, I thought, you know what? It's going to kind of tie in a little bit with my my Chamber preview. So I thought that I would just stick with that. Also, I do notice that right up here, right where Cody's head is, you can see kind of like the part of Rock's head or something else I didn't cut off in the graphics, so I do apologize in there as well. But we are going to talk about that as well from what Robbie had to say. Hopefully, Robbie does join us in the live chat. I did tag him on Twitter for the post, so hopefully he does join us as well, as I do play his thoughts. He wanted me to kind of like get my thoughts on. We'll do that for sure, and then we'll get into the Elimination Chamber review, which is going to have 4 matches and 1 segment. So it will be an interesting show. I'll say before I do Robbie's thoughts or check the live chat first. 1 and 2 I do. Probably check the live chat first. I'm definitely more interested in Chamber than I was last year. Last year's it felt like a little bit of like a glorified house show with very predictable results. You knew Becky Lynch was winning the Women's Chamber last year. You knew Drew McIntyre was winning the Men's Chamber last year. You had, I don't know what else was on the show. I know we had, the main event was Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, which isn't really a pay-per-view main event match, but I get it. We were in Australia. It was Rhea's home country. I get it. Then we have something with we had the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So, kind of a very predictable show. Not much fun to it. It was what it was. I do feel this year's Chamber show will be better. The results are not quite as predictable for the most part. And the matches I know are going to be fire. Especially 2 of them I'm very excited about the most, which is the Men's Chamber match and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I am going to do live reactions tomorrow. I am going to be watching Chamber with Daniel Gaiza. And we're going to do a live reaction for 1 match. And I was so stuck between doing it for either Sami and Kevin or the Men's Chamber. But I feel like the Men's Chamber match is going to have more of an impact, of course, on WrestleMania. So because of that, I did pick that one. So we will be live for that match. Now, I will say this. If after that match is the segment with Cody Rhodes and The Rock, which I do think there's a possibility that could close the show, is the segment with Cody and The Rock. Although they may use it as a cooldown period or whatnot, I will, if for some reason that segment is after the men's chamber match, I will see about maybe staying live for that as well to get my thoughts. Because I feel like if that goes last, then that could be a very groundbreaking moment for sure. Possibly. We'll talk about that, of course, when we do get to it. But yes, I think this will be a very exciting show. Like I said, I'm definitely more excited for it than I was last year. So we are going to get rolling. First, of course, let's check the live chat with our good friend Tyler here, who always joins me live mostly. Thank you as always, Tyler, for coming on live. He said they're going to have Bianca or Liv win this damn chamber. Yeah, we'll talk about that women's chamber match when we get to it in a second. But yeah, I unfortunately do think it's going to be either one of them. Not someone who I would have loved to have seen face Rhea, but and especially because of what Bianca is kind of involved with currently. But we'll talk about that women's chamber match when we get to it. 3 weeks is 2K25. Nice. Unfortunately, I do not have a gaming system that is compatible for it, so I will not be able to get it, unfortunately. My friend, though, is trying to get me to buy a PS5, but I rarely play my Switch right now the way it is, and I've been wanting to play it to, do more of the stuff with this video capture card that my wife got me for Christmas, but it hasn't happened yet, but I'm hoping it will sometime soon. What else do we got here? He also says there's no championship matches on the show. That is very true. There isn't. I did predict my car predictions. Maybe we would have AJ Styles and Braun Breaker, but I'm guessing they're saving that for WrestleMania. Although I'm hearing rumors that could be a multi-man match for the IC title. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. And I will also try to get my WrestleMania card done right away as well. That I'm going to try to, work on this weekend as well. I'll try, but I'm trying to get some other stuff done this weekend too. Can we get rid of the women's tag titles? I agree. They're not needed. These women's tag titles are just not needed at all whatsoever. And I still think the men should have just one championship as well, because two of them, it's not working. They don't have the depth right now. And Tyler says I have a PS5 for 2K25. Very nice, my friend. But yeah, so thank you, Tyler, for your thoughts in the live chat. I am actually gonna message Robbie real quick on Instagram. Just an FYI, I'm live now and about to talk about the messages you sent the other day if you're available and want to join. Okay, so Robbie sent me a couple of messages the other day, and Robbie sometimes sends me messages asking me if I'm going to be going live anytime soon, and asks me, he'll usually hear my thoughts here and there about certain things. So so he sent me this one the other day. Like I said, I originally wanted to do this one as a separate video, but again, because, I have found it valuable to kind of tie some more topics into my reviews lately, I felt that this kind of can tie in a little bit with my chamber preview. So just to refresh my memory as well too, because these messages were sent to me back on February 21st, which was last Friday, I believe it was, when he sent me these. Yeah, I believe that's what it was. So I'm going to play the messages, and we're going to talk about them. He sent me 4 1-minute recordings. So here's what Robbie had to say.
Hey Mike, how's it going, man? I'm not sure if you're streaming anytime this week, but I did want to share this with you and, wanted to get your thoughts on it in a future video. So, I've been seeing a lot of people be critical, concerned about what's going on with, the current WWE product, and, has Triple H lost his touch a little with booking, with things going on. I mean, the whole Jey Uso controversy, and I only call it a controversy because of the fans that were like actually, coming down hard on that win. I was legit shocked, bro. I was legit shocked when he won, and I'm happy for him because I honestly thought John Cena was going to win, and Triple H really threw a curveball our way, but in a positive way, So, that Jey Uso controversy was just really stupid and even fickle.
Yeah, so, as far as the Jey Uso thing goes, I already addressed that. I still think it's ridiculous how people have really... There's a lot of people, even though it doesn't show it in the crowd, because he's still over as hell in the crowd, for crying out loud, like, every crowd he goes to, he still gets, like, a warm, hot reception. Heck, my friend Joe, Penta L. Miller, as we call him when he's on the channel here, he went to the Raw in Cleveland when right after Rumble. Man, oh man, like I said, they were yeeting for 14 freaking minutes. So, I get it, yes, they took a long time to capitalize and give Jey Uso this moment. Yes, he has had his matches against Gunther. But two things. First off, this is the first time they've given us, besides, of course, when they briefly surprised us, gave him the IC title. This is the first time they've really surprised us and given us hope that Jey Uso can win in the main event scene. And I think so far, they're playing off the build for him and Gunther, how it needs to be, basically. So, that boggles my mind, too, is it bothers me that people are upset Jey Uso won instead of John Cena. And again, nothing against John Cena. But no offense, this is the same guy that 10, 15 years ago, we were all complaining was being shoved down our throats, was always on top. We weren't getting something new from John Cena. And yes, I'd like to see him win his 17th world title too. Yes, I think he should fight for the title at WrestleMania. Spoiler alert, yes, I think he should win the chamber match tomorrow night. But my thing is also if we get the same old John Cena, is that really going to be anything special? The fact that people are sticking up for the same old John Cena, yet not all, because some of them have been Cena fans for life, stuck with him no matter what role he's played, but that's my thing. Most of these people, probably 10, 15 years ago, were complaining about John Cena being on top. And now that same old John Cena could be our world champion, but now it's okay, and someone like Jey Uso, who was never meant to be in the position he's in, is on top, and people now are complaining about it. No offense, I agree with Robbie. It's complete fickle. I just don't get, when they finally pulled a good swerve by having Jey Uso win the Rumble match, and people were not happy because they wanted John Cena to win, I was like, that is kind of ridiculous. And very disrespectful towards Jey. But the main gist, I'm sure he mentioned in the other three clips he sent me also, is people are being critical and think Triple H has lost his touch. I do feel like, I'll say this, WrestleMania's 41 build has been okay so far. I haven't hated it, but I haven't gotten that big, oomph, with The Rock turning heel last year and how he completely elevated the match with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Added another big wrinkle to the story and made it much more interesting than I was worried that it was going to be. I really thought that they was going to do a repeat of the year before, but having The Rock involved, helped that a lot. I get it, yes, we're tired of the part-timers, but if someone like The Rock can get the job done, I'm not going to bitch about it. Just saying. But I don't think Triple H has lost his touch. Here's the first thing that differentiates Triple H from Vince McMahon. And even though I think he's gone senile, Tony Khan as well. They're not out to toy with the fans like Vince was. That's the one big thing. My thing is you can try things and they don't work, that happens. But if you toy with the fans and do things on purpose to piss the fans off like Vince McMahon did, then I have no respect for you whatsoever. Yes, I know I just gave Tony Khan a comment. I know he's gotten a little cuckoo himself, but at least he has never tried to be a jerk toward the fans. Has he said goofy things to the product? Yes. Has he become basically like another Clark Griswold? Yes. But face the facts, he hasn't insulted us like Vince did. Is he making some business decision like Vince did? Yes, I see that there, but he's not as heartless as Vince McMahon. And neither is Triple H. Triple H does try things. Although, yes, there are things that he has done that doesn't work, he still tries to, he doesn't just drop things on the spot. He tries to be continuous and make things at least make sense, even if it's not working. Like, for a prime example, when he tried a thing with Baron Corbin and JBL, it didn't work. He had a proper ending to it before they ended it. Something like that. So I get that. I get his long-term booking. I don't think Triple H has lost his touch. But, and I get how we were saying in 2022 when he first took over, him getting things back on track is going to take time. Yes, he had the interruption when Vince came back in 2023 for like 9 months or however long it was where Vince kind of had his paws back in the bowl again. Yes, it's been long. It's been over a year since Vince has been gone. I get it. We have given it time. My personal opinion is I think Triple H has figured out who he can fix, who he can't fix, but I think also there's some people Triple H is trying really hard to not give up on, but some of them are just damaged goods. Like a Shinsuke Nakamura, or a Finn Balor, or even a DIY. Like, I love DIY. I don't think, though, that they're lighting the world on fire as a tag team champions. I mean, part of it is mostly because they don't have the division around them. So that part can be more so on they should have just kept one men's tag titles for some reason. Or something like that. But yeah, and even tag team wrestling in general, he's not really done much with, to be honest. But again, I think he is figuring out, who's working, who's not working. And we're getting some changes. They did part ways with people that they just don't have a spot for right now. They're bringing in some people that, they think could. Like, they just brought in Ricky Saints. NXT's division is stacked right now, especially the women's. They have the new WWE ID program, which I think, is great as well, for sure. But, I don't think he's lost his touch. And I'm not saying fans are getting impatient. Like I said, I think we've given it time. It's just, again, there are still some people on this roster that I think Triple H just doesn't want to give up on. But he has to come to terms at some points that, they can't be fixed. There's some people I think he just has to, let go of, move on from, or just repackage and do something else with them if he wants them to stay. That's just my opinion on that. I'm not sure if there's anything else really that he said, but let's play the next match to see.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, I love everything that Triple H has done since fully taking over almost 3 years ago. And yes, I do have my concerns about certain decisions he's made, booking-wise. There are some wrestlers I'm concerned about that haven't been getting the proper booking they should. I'm not hating on the product because I'm still proudly supporting it because I love how he's rejuvenated the company in general. Not just the talent and other staff involved, but just everything he's done to rejuvenate the company in general and make it, the juggernaut, the sports entertainment juggernaut it once was. But now I feel like people are just complaining too much over certain things. I'm going to stop it right here so I can move on to the next slide. But like, yeah, I feel like people are just, there are some people that have concerns, and then there are some people that are just complaining too much and being fickle.
Which, yes, he is right. I do feel like there are some fans out there that you just can't make happy. Like I said before, that's why it still baffled me that people were sticking up for John Cena over Jey Uso. Like, if they would have turned John Cena heel before this Rumble or something like that, maybe I would have had a little bit more of a say-so. But like I said, if you're going to give John Cena that 17th world title, you got to do something more interesting and different. Just doing same old John Cena isn't going to be that special. I'm sorry, it's not going to be that special to me, at least. But yeah, like, again, Triple H has given hope. He has brought a lot of change. We've seen new stars. Yes, we're not getting, we're getting some part-timers, but it feels like he uses the part-timers better, that he's not completely interfering in other people's pushes. Has he done the swings and misses? Like I said, yes, he's not perfect, but he's trying. He's trying, but like I said before, there's some people I do think Triple H just needs to, pull the plug on and move on from. He's tried, and it's not that they're bad talents, it's just that right now they're damaged goods, and they need, like, a bigger, like, fresh coat of paint. But let's get to the third piece of messages he had to send.
Here's a prime example. So, Penta recently had a match on Main Event against Grayson Waller. And when I saw photos of that, people were already being like, oh, he's already been demoted. They've already lost that, value in him, blah, blah, blah. I rolled my eyes because he was literally going to be on Raw a few days after that to face, Pete Dunne. And I just saw that as, hey, they don't have anything for him on Raw, so they're going to have him make a special appearance on Main Event. What's wrong with that? Like, yeah, if he was appearing on Main Event every week, I'd be concerned. But you've already seen how much time and emphasis they put on him in such a short period. So it's like those kind of people just nitpicking shit like that just to be whatever. Like, I just find that fickle, and I just find that annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. Like you said, yes, if Penta was always on Main Event, then I'd be concerned. But again, sometimes you gotta do some roster rotation. You can't keep the same person can't be on the show every single week, or else they may get overexposed. That's what happened with some talent that Vince had that, he gets obsessed over. He overexposed them, and it's like we didn't get a chance to, to just enjoy them. Like, again, yes, Penta's doing awesome. They're definitely rolling out the red carpet for him. He's already has like a big star feel to him for sure. But again, 1 week on Main Event just to get him a match isn't going to kill. Like I said, if he was always on Main Event, then yes, I'd be concerned. Like, that's literally like a baseball team that loses their first game of the season, and everybody acts like, oh, they're going to be horrible this year. Like, there's 161 more games left. You can lose a game. You're going to lose. Baseball teams are going to lose. There's never going to be a team that's going to be 162-0. Unless it's me playing the Dynasty mode on MVP Baseball 2005. Yes, I did that one time with an old set of custom players with the Seattle Mariners, but I'm not doing that again for sure. But yeah, I agree. Like, that's overreacting. Penta's not buried. He is in great hands right now for sure. He is definitely going to be a big star for this company. And there's one more.
So yeah, like I said, I don't know if you're streaming live or if you're going to share this in a video or whatnot, but I just wanted to share my thoughts with you on the situation. I hope to hear yours down the line. But yeah, it's like I'm still happy with the product for the most part. I am concerned with certain, booking decisions Triple H has made. I'm not trying to think that, Vince's influence is creeping up on him. But I just hope things go well, especially with WrestleMania 2 months away. There are some matches I'm very excited for, but I feel like the road to WrestleMania hasn't had that special oomph yet. And I don't want to be overthinking it. I don't want to be, overcritical and whatnot, because I love the WWE in general, and I'm just happy with how the company in general is doing with Triple H in charge. Maybe they're in a little bit of a slump. I'm not sure, but, I just hope personally that the product can continue to be strong and smooth and keep me invested for, years to come.
See, that's why I know there's some people And I do feel this way sometimes in some years. Like some years, Elimination Chamber feels like, it's necessary. Like this year, I would say, it has a good feel to it. But there's some years like last year where it was a very predictable, you can watch it once, it's fine, but then never watch it again, basically, and it's not going to hurt you. Sometimes I do wish they would not have a pay-per-view between Rumble and Mania. Because sometimes I feel like, they get too focused on Chamber that that sometimes they forget to, still, have teases for WrestleMania. Like, there's some things that I feel like you can't just, make official on the fly. Like, a prime example for me is Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso last year. I felt like the build, since they started teasing that match since SummerSlam, they could have done a ton more interactions with Jimmy and Jey. Like, they could have either done that, or I really thought they were going to keep Jey off TV, maybe have him come back at, Rumble, and then start something there, and have, Jimmy doing, good, on his own without Jey or something like that. Even though, like I said, they really booked Jimmy like a chump in that heel run. And that's why I always think that match suffered, was because, one, they basically booked it at the last minute because they kind of stopped doing any build for it, and all of a sudden 3 weeks, boom, it did again. It's you gotta give that one more build to it. That's why even though Roman Reigns' plans for WrestleMania still don't seem very obvious, I'm hearing either just him versus Seth, but I still feel like Seth Rollins has to face CM Punk again at Mania. Because I'm worried they're going to do CM Punk and Logan Paul. Not saying that's a bad match, but I don't want that at WrestleMania. I want Punk and Rollins. But also, Roman could be involved. They could do Roman and Seth, which, yes, that's definitely a destined WrestleMania match. I've heard also a triple threat with Punk, Roman, and Rollins, but that still kind of feels thrown together, even though that's 3 big names in one match. But again, it feels very, very thrown together. So, yes, there's definitely that I'm sorry, get off track here. That's why I've given up on Roman and The Rock for this year. Because I feel like that's a match that can't be booked on the fly. That one should have had a much longer build. And if you want to start building for it for next year, do it now. Although I'm starting to worry that it may never happen. But The Rock is here. They got to do that. Especially when it was going to be last year. But of course, they listened to the fans and gave the moment to Cody, which was the right move to do. But we gotta do that match at some point. But Robbie made some good points. I was hoping he would have told me a few things he was concerned about with Triple H's booking, but maybe he'll send that another time. But yeah, like I said, I still think Triple H is doing a fine job. Like I said, I just feel like he is hitting some crossroads where he's realizing the people he can work with and the people he can't. And there's also some people that he really doesn't want to give up on, but he has to come face the fact someday that this isn't working. So that's my thoughts on that. I wanted to get that out of the way before I got started. I'm already a half an hour in. Jeez, oh man. But now we are going to move on. I didn't see Robbie did like my comments I saw on. Let me see here. Did he say anything else? He liked my message, but he didn't. I don't see him in the live chat yet, so I don't know if he'll catch this later, or maybe he was watching the whole time and he just hasn't commented yet. But those are my thoughts on that. Thank you, Robbie, as always, for leaving your thoughts. Always leaving some really interesting input and stuff that to pick my brain and to talk about. But only other comment Tyler said in the live chat is fire Logan Paul. That'd be nice, because I don't like Logan Paul, but I'm pretty sure WWE is not going to fire him anytime soon unless he does something very, very bad. But who knows? But anyways, now we're going to do my Chamber preview. And also, again, like I said, I apologize that I'm doing this during SmackDown. It's just, if I waited till after SmackDown, I would definitely be too tired. And I do have a few things I want to do tomorrow before I go to Dan's to watch Chamber. So I didn't want to do this tomorrow and do this last minute. So I wanted to make sure I did this tonight. So we're going to preview the show. I'm not going to go in order of how I think the matches are going to happen. I do think, though, that either the men's chamber match will end the show, or Cody and The Rock will end the show, or because it's unsanctioned and it is their home country, I wouldn't be surprised if they did end the show with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because of us being in Canada, or the fact that, you know, it's unsanctioned. But WWE has not, because usually unsanctioned matches are not part of the show. They don't count because the company's not going to be held responsible for anything that happens in the match. But WWE hasn't really quite, you know, gone as like strict on that as AEW has when they've done those matches. So it wouldn't surprise me if that didn't main event the show, but it could main event the show because of that, and the fact again that they're both in Canada. And I think isn't this Triple H's first unsanctioned match he's booked on the main roster, because I know he booked Johnny and Tommaso, which that was unsanctioned. And I think, was it the first Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly match unsanctioned too, if I'm not mistaken? I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, those are the three things that could main event the show. But I'm not going to go in order of how the matches are going to happen. I'm going to talk about the two non-chamber matches first, then the chamber matches, and then I'll save Cody and The Rock for last. As I feel like that's most likely to close the show. And like I said, if they do the men's chamber match and then following that is the Rock and Cody segment, I will try to stay live for that. But to talk about the other two matches, the first one is this women's tag match with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, or Trishy Time, whatever they're calling themselves, taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Just a women's match to add to the card, and also to get Trish on the card too. It is Trish's 25th anniversary, so I get why she's poking her head back in her home country. And I mean, they kind of teased something also with her and Nia at Rumble, so this kind of fulfills this. And I feel like also the goal behind this is to transition Tiffany Stratton more to a babyface role heading into her WrestleMania match with Charlotte Flair. So that is a possibility in there too. That could you could see the heel side melting off of Tiffany Stratton, but I don't think it's that strong yet that it's not that strong yet that I can consider her a full-on babyface to a turn alert for. But I feel like this match will help with that. And I do think Trishy Time, as they call them, will get the victory. And Tiffany Stratton will head to WrestleMania to face Charlotte Flair. Will she win or lose in that match, though? I still don't know. I have a feeling she could lose. But even if she does lose at Mania, I really hope they make her look good with that match with Charlotte. Like, I'm hoping for a caliber type match with like how Rhea and Charlotte was at WrestleMania 39, and like be like a big breakthrough performance for Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. But this is to get her some momentum, get her some more babyface sympathy through Trish in her hometown or home country, whatever you want to call it, and she'll get the win over Nia and Candice, and put that feud to bed. The other non-title match is the unsanctioned match with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Oh, man. I personally feel like this is going to be match of the night. I think that these two are going to go out there, and this is the first pay-per-view match they've been booked under Triple H since NXT's R Evolution. Oh, no. Rival? Or no. Unstoppable. Unstoppable, yes. Because I remember I watched that show. Because the other matches, well, they've had pay-per-view matches, I believe, at one-on-one at least, at Payback in 2016, which was a great opener. Battleground 2016, which was a match of the year candidate for sure. And I think the other two times on pay-per-view they were booked were WrestleMania 37, which was a fine match, and Hell in a Cell, which Hell in a Cell in 2021 I think was probably, of all their pay-per-view matches, 2021's Hell in a Cell was probably the weakest, so I think. It was good, nothing memorable, but, you know, they always have good matches, but nothing like their NXT matches. I feel like this match is going to overdo all that. I feel like these two are going to go out there and literally try to destroy each other. People are hoping for like a Ring of Honor style match that they were given back in their days in Ring of Honor. And I think we will see like a Kevin Steen and El Generico type match. And the crowd, with them both being from Canada, the crowd is going to be hot for this match. So I'm not putting any doubts past it that this could be match of the night. Like I said, it could main event the show for all I know. The only thing is, though, is that I really wish they would have saved this for WrestleMania. Like, I understand why they didn't, because we're in Toronto, and yet they still could do something at WrestleMania. My dream match of these two is still an I Quit match. Even though I wish that had the title involved, because both these men should be world champion. Kevin Owens especially has not held a singles title in 7 or 8 years. I still think that is absolutely ridiculous. But I do kind of hope they do another match at WrestleMania. Like I said, I Quit. They could do Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, though. I'm not feeling that for Mania. I feel like that I'd rather have that on like a Chamber or a Backlash. Mania, like, not really. Like, these two have such a bigger history. But again, I get why they're doing it at Chamber, because we're in Toronto. But we'll see. Maybe it will elevate to another match at Mania. I personally think, though, Kevin should win this match. I think Kevin Owens needs a pay-per-view victory. Because he kind of got the one-up on Randy Orton at Crown Jewel. And then he lost to Cody at the last. I'd say as a main event and at Royal Rumble, despite they really protected him well in that Rumble match. But Kevin needs a victory. I think you give him the victory here. If you want to have Sami beat him at WrestleMania, if they have a match at Mania, fine. But especially if Kevin Owens is using the freaking package pile driver. And he's only got, what? Has he gotten even like anything since using that package pile driver? No, I think if anyone needs to win this match more, it's Kevin Owens. So I think Kevin Owens will win, and I think it'll be match of the night. I think we will also get a match of the year candidate out of this as well. That ladder match with Kevin and Cody at Rumble was definitely a candidate for me as well too, for a match of the year. But yeah, so that match is probably my pick for match of the night. And again, I think Kevin Owens should win that. All right, now we're going to do the 2 chamber matches. So the first one for the women, we got Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Liv Morgan, who is now one half of the women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Roxanne Perez. Not a bad, 6-woman chamber match. The problem is, though, is who wins this. And to be honest, there really isn't anyone that I'm like begging to win. And there's not many people I think can see win. Like, I don't think Roxanne's winning it. Because I think she's finishing up a few with Jordan Grace in NXT before she gets called up. That's someone else I thought you could have had win the Rumble, or could have been in this chamber match as Jordan Grace, but they put it on NXT first. Okay, I'm not going to complain too much, but I felt like she could have gone away with being on the main roster, if I'm being completely honest. But we have that one there. I don't think Alexa Bliss is winning. If it was a SmackDown champion she was going to face, maybe. But again, she just came back and she just got put on SmackDown. I doubt she's going to win and go fight a Raw champion. So there's that there. I don't think Naomi's winning it. I would like to see Naomi pull it off, the upset or whatnot, especially if they swerve us, because I still think Bianca Belair is going to be the one to be revealed to be the one who attacked Jade Cargill. But Naomi winning would be kind of swerve, but I don't think it's happening. Bayley is probably my number 3 pick to win. But even that, it's like she doesn't really have a story, though. Like, she doesn't have anything like that could get fans invested in seeing her beat Rhea. Would it be a fresh match, Rhea and Bayley? Yes, and Bayley just moved back over to Raw. But there isn't anything right there to really get her invested in her. So I don't think it's going to be Bayley. It's going to be either Bianca Belair or Liv Morgan. Now, I have my doubts about it being Liv because she just won the women's tag titles. I don't think she's going to pull double duty at WrestleMania. I know some people are saying that they think it's going to be Liv and Raquel versus Dakota and Io at WrestleMania, which could be the case. But I don't think Liv's going to pull double duty at WrestleMania. But I can see her winning because of her history this past year with Rhea. But I don't want to see it. I'm not interested at all in seeing them again fight. I mean, yes, Liv technically never had her rematch after she dropped the title back in January. But still, like, they dragged the feud way out too long. Way out too long. In my opinion, it should have ended at Bad Blood. But I hear that botched finish at Bad Blood kind of forced them to continue on the feud. But I don't know. I've seen it enough. It's like I don't need to see it again. But I do think there is a chance they could give it to Liv. I think the best chance of this match getting a winner is Bianca Belair. Like, her and Rhea, they still have to do that match. Like, when they both won their championships, like, what was it, at WrestleMania 39? Or they both came out as champions, and they basically looked at each other and said, we'll come back to this. We haven't done that yet. And both these women are bigger stars since. So I wouldn't mind a match between them. Of course, if Bianca was revealed as the one who attacked Jade Cargill and went heel. But there's that as well. Bianca is revealed as the one who attacked Jade Cargill, which I'm still hoping. I'd rather have it be Bianca than Naomi. And they've teased some healer sides with Bianca Belair recently. Like I said, at Rumble, she got mad at Naomi for buddying up with Jordynne Grace again. She seemed a little too excited about Liv and Raquel being seen nearby whenever Jay got hurt. So it's like they're pointing this. They're showing signs of Bianca and teasing how she could be as a heel. And like I said, I've been begging for them to turn her heel since she dropped her women's championship to Asuka in 2023. I've been begging for them to turn her heel. She needs that heel turn so bad. And if it wasn't for her probably feuding with Jade for WrestleMania, I would definitely be more open to her win. But the only reason why I'm not open to her win is because she has to feud with Jade. Like, are you gonna have her like have this match at Mania and then Jade returns and costs her and then make it in the summer feud? Like, I don't know. It's like this payoff feels like it should have lead to a match for Mania. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. Like I said, I feel like it's either going to be Liv or Bianca. Like I said, Bayley would be my number 3 choice, but it feels like a throwaway match if they went with Bayley. Like I said, Roxanne's still in NXT, so she's not going to be her. Alexa Bliss just came back with the SmackDown, so it's not going to be her. Again, I wouldn't mind Naomi, but I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. But my number 1 pick, even though I feel like is then what they're going to do when they bring Jade back. My number 1 pick, though, is Bianca. And, I mean, they could do something maybe where Jade comes back and Naomi and Jay go after the women's tag titles at WrestleMania against Liv and Raquel. And Bianca fights Rhea. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think Bianca's going to be the one to win. The men's chamber match, though, is the one I'm the most excited for. That is a stacked, power-filled chamber match with a lot of star power. We got Damian Priest, Logan Paul, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. The only 2 I can say right off the bat that are definitely not winning this is Damian Priest and Logan Paul. Logan Paul has already fought Cody Rhodes in this title reign. He has no reason to win this. I do hope, though, Logan Paul goes on to fight AJ Styles at WrestleMania, even though it looks like AJ's involved in the feud with Braun Breaker. Because I'm still afraid they're going to do AJ. They're going to do either Logan Paul versus CM Punk or Logan Paul versus John Cena. Which either of those matches I wouldn't mind any other time, just not at WrestleMania this year. Those 2, like CM Punk, should be fighting Seth Rollins. John Cena should be winning this chamber and fighting Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But I do think you could also say Drew McIntyre, although I was a little confused by them having Jimmy Uso pinned Drew McIntyre last week. That kind of hurt his momentum a little bit going to this and not make him as big of a threat, but I still think it's possible because they still do have to do Drew and Cody. I'm sure at some point this summer, if Cody is still champion, we will get that match. But I can see Drew winning. I can see Seth winning as well because, of course, of his history with Cody as well. But I feel like, he's going to fight either CM Punk or Roman Reigns. I still think they need to do him and Punk at Mania. CM Punk is my number 2 pick. I do completely think CM Punk could possibly win this. But I think John Cena's going to win this. Like I said, I didn't mind them not giving it to him at Rumble. Like I said, you can do it here at Chamber. But like I said, I really think they should pull the trigger right this year and turn John Cena heel. Like I said, they keep playing this idea that John Cena has not won a singles match since 2018. So, with it being his last year, and realizing more and more his chances are getting slimmer and slimmer, I really think they got to play into it and have Cena get more desperate. Do something. He already did something a little bit heelish when he announced himself into this chamber match saying it's best for business and it has been earned for 23 years. So he's saying he's got special privileges. That's when you start getting heat on you. And I think that if he does win, he should tease some other heelish method. Show more of the desperation. As he should do. But yeah, I still think John's my number 1 pick to win. But I do think they could give it to Punk. They could give it to Seth and maybe Drew. But Cena's my number 1 pick to win the Rumble. I mean, not Rumble. The Chamber. Definitely not Logan Paul. And definitely not Damian Priest. Who I think is in there, of course, for the experience. But I don't see Damian winning this. But this will still be a stacked Chamber match. And I'm excited to be doing live reactions for it too tomorrow. And then finally, I think we're going to close it out with Cody and The Rock. The Rock last week told Cody he wants him to be his champion and he wants his soul. And he's giving Cody till Chamber to give him an answer. And Cody on Raw even mentioned he's kind of considering it. They have been playing this idea that they've been telling the story where Cody's starting to, get a little overwhelmed under the pressure of being the guy, being the champion. So it's believable that they could have Cody Rhodes maybe accept. Heck, if they would do a heel Cody Rhodes versus a face John Cena at WrestleMania, I wouldn't mind that either. That's still something different, and it's still good character development, and it's a good story for John Cena to work off of. It's a little bit different, but again, like I said, it's better than just plain old John Cena and plain old Cody Rhodes. So, but either way, I still think Cody's going to say no. He's going to say no, and I think either The Rock will go all out here, and this could be revealed that, someone else is accepting Rock's offer, which could maybe also explain why maybe some heelish actions may take place in a chamber match and swerve us, and have John Cena turn heel and be the one to be now The Rock's like corporate champion. Cena went to that low because he's getting desperate and his time is running out. They could do it there, or they could have The Rock, seemingly, respect Cody's answer, but as, the show's ending, you see kind of his face not really. Because I'll say this. If they do turn John Cena heel this year, I feel they should do it at WrestleMania. Book it like they did with Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 17, which, yes, I know the heel turn didn't pan out afterwards, but the moment was still insane. I feel like if they're gonna turn John Cena heel and make it that much heat, I really think they should consider doing it at WrestleMania. Either Cena loses or Cena wins by help from The Rock and wins his world championship. I kind of want to be that. I kind of want them to wait to turn Cena heel till Mania. But either way, I do think Cody's going to say no. I think it's more likely we're going to see a John Cena heel turn than a Cody Rhodes heel turn this year. I think the story is, I mean, even though you could turn Cody heel, I still think the story is there for John Cena with the desperation and the limited time going on. But those are my picks for Elimination Chamber 2025. Like I said, should be a very exciting show to set up WrestleMania. Again, I got Trishy Time defeating Candice and Nia. Kevin Owens beats Sami Zayn. My number one pick to win the Women's Chamber is Bianca, even though I'm not so satisfied with it. I think John Cena will win the Men's Chamber, and I think Cody Rhodes will say no to The Rock. Anybody else in the live chat? Tyler say he thinks that the Women's Chamber is going to suck. I don't think the match is going to suck. It's just the fallout and the aftermath. I'm not sure what it's going to be with whoever they pick to face Rhea. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens when we get the Chamber tomorrow night. So guys, thank you for joining me live again. I know it was during SmackDown, but again, like I said, I wanted to do it before I got tired. So I am going to go watch SmackDown before I go to bed. And then, like I said, tomorrow my plans are kind of up in the air before Chamber. I do, though, definitely have to get my my stuff ready for the live reaction. Probably sometime Sunday I will do my Chamber review. And like I said, I am going to work on some other things over the weekend. Like, I finally going to work on some more baseball highlights. I really need to get to work, though, on that top 10 best and worst match series as well. I've really, dropped the ball on that. Wolfenstein commercials, I still got to finish as well. But I am going to also start working on my WrestleMania 41 card as well. No pun intended, because I'm going to try to use decks of cards since it's in Vegas and see what I can come up with. But yeah, just a lot of stuff to come. And of course, more of the 24 reviews. We have 25 done. We have 12 more left. That review series is going to be wrapping up soon. And yeah, as always, guys, just stay tuned more come the channel. Make sure you guys leave your thoughts down in the comments section below about the stuff I talked about that Robbie sent me. Also about the stuff with your Chamber predictions as well. What do you guys think which match will main event? Steal the show? You think Cody will say yes or no? Will John Cena turn heel? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of Demand 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at the Club of Demand 1993. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!